week, everybody.
Get
the
up.
live music is back.
Let's get up. There's some gangs. There's some gangs.
What?
There's some gangs. I mean, always be packing because the ops never lacking.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grappling with the Gilmans. I'm Josh. You tell me, brother.
I'm not normal before.
Okay, and you? Who are you this week?
Chaos.
You are Chaos. And we are back in the undisclosed location. And we got a show this week.
Help me.
Oh, brother. Does anybody want to have any introductory remarks? Because before we get into it.
Joey Janela in that cockamamie pay-per-view.
Oh, you want to talk about the Joey Janela show?
What the hell was that?
We didn't see it.
I saw that Royal Rumble ending. What the hell?
What?
No,
not the
no.
scene.
No, there was a Royal
There was a
Rumble.
Royal
did.
Rumble.
He did 2 shows.
Oh, yes, okay.
And apparently the other show was his version of a Royal Rumble,
Did you see
which
one?
I gather
Oh,
lasted
can
for
I
like
tell
2
who
hours.
won?
Go ahead.
The
And the
number-
winner.
The last entry in the winner was -1. He's 13.
Now known as Brody Lee Jr.
Oh, yeah, wait, this was the cluster F.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Wait,
was
so I
the
can get
Joey
in the ring.
Janela Cluster Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're saying that, that's a scrawny kid. No offense to -1.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta feed him more.
He's a
Oh
scrawny-
my god,
Like,
he
so
looks
like,
as
you're
skinny
saying
as a twig.
You're saying I could get my match. I do better
Again,
than
we
Ric
did-
Flair did in Nashville. I can
We
tell you
did.
that
Oh
much.
God, we did not see any.
I can do a suplex.
Any of the various indie
can
shows
flippy
that took
dippy.
place. I will say 2 things.
Bloodsport.
Based on a first-hand account, I would be sort of morbidly curious to see the Minoru Suzuki versus Butterbean match, because that was
What was that?
that was described by one Brian Alvarez as the worst match that he's ever seen.
Wait, when was
Yeah.
it? Minoru Suzuki versus Barbie.
Yeah.
When was that?
During Joey Janela's
It was during
pay-per-view.
one of
That-
Your boy
And
Joey
then
Janela's pay-per-view.
There are,
That's
I
my
did
boy.
see some
your
clips
boy.
floating around of the. What
I've
was that?
I've seen the videos about him on the Sandman podcast. And oh
God.
boy.
All right.
Out of the kendo stick.
Okay. Thank you. I think that might
You're
be.
talking about the show that I produced?
Yeah.
I think that might be a record for the fastest drug reference.
That's not a drug reference. That's a cannabis reference.
Say
Well,
I think about like
fine.
in the eyes of the
something.
law, there's a gray
We,
area.
guys,
so-
we got too much to talk
I think
about.
about like Molly or something.
The other.
Jesus.
Oh my God. The other thing. There are some clips floating around of the Sabu. Speaking of Joey Janela, Joey
Jesus.
Janela retirement match.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
That man can so move.
I'm just glad Sabu is not dead. There was that one. I'll just describe this quickly, or else the show's going to
in the chair.
where it looked like there was a barbed wire board leaned up against the ropes.
No.
And
it's not a barbed wire board.
it was.
The whole ring is barbed wire.
No,
It's
but
a
there were
stick.
there were no ropes, but there was a barbed wire board leaned up against the strands of barbed wire, and he threw Sabu into it, and I'm guessing they figured that the board would stop him, and it did not, and he went into this board and flew backwards out of the ring onto the concrete. Oh my God.
But who was in that Cena scramble? Tommy Invincible.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was only, yeah. I mean,
It was Tommy Invincible, our boy Santana
What?
Jackson.
No, it's
No,
Sid-
you're talking about the
cluster
scene-
F.
Oh, there were all kinds of people in
Yeah.
that.
Teriyaki.
Teriyaki. Was Megan
my
Bain
guy.
in it?
Yeah,
Megan
Megan
Bain.
Bain was in
Cheeseburger.
it.
So you had-
Cheeseburger.
Joey Janela itself.
Yeah, there were all
So
kinds.
basically every single person on the Indies.
There were all kinds of people in that.
Yeah.
Every
Negative
single
yes.
one looks
Brody
interesting
Lee
under
Jr.
the
Paul
mask.
London.
Oh yeah, Brody Lee
That's your
Jr.
boy.
came
Our
out
boy
at the
Paul
end and won the
London.
thing.
I'm surprised. He looks so much different under the mask.
Okay, you got anything before we get into it?
I could fight him. You get the wrestler.
Oh.
I get -1.
Today there's body armor.
Yeah,
Prime.
you switched it up. Body
Yeah.
armor.
I'll do like
great.
that.
I got-
He looks scrawny.
Sponsored by
so I
Dude
could like do like
Perfect.
the bandito, like open, like lift him up and just like slam him down. You know what I'm talking about? I have to put my
60-second? lift.
Yeah, I could do that with
Yeah.
-1.
Sure, buddy.
He's
No.
a scrawny kid. I mean,
He
like,
does look. But he's tall.
have you
He
seen
looks
that?
so tall though.
Have you seen?
He just
He's
looks really
tall
tall.
and lanky, like Quinn. Like I could lift Quinn up with one hand.
He's not.
No,
He's
he's
got to
not.
be bigger than Quinn because he's 2 years older. That's
No, I mean,
Max's
like-
friend. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Quinn.
Shout out Quandelius P. Dingle.
Do you have anything before we get into it?
Quandelius.
Yes, that is
Quandelius
their-
P. Dingle.
Yes, that is what he calls his bestie Quinn.
Shout out Quandelius P.
Quandelius P.
Dingle.
Dingle, Esquire. Anything before we get into it, Maxie?
No.
Okay. We watched a lot of wrestling
Oh my god.
this
Enough
week.
that my mom said I
A
can't
lot.
take it anymore. Stop.
Yeah, it was.
That is what my mother said.
So we're not. Let's
So much
not.
wrestling.
Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. We'll sort of do this in chronological order. Let's start with the week in AEW television, and not only will because you know what, it was awesome.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Dynamite was a great show, and there was some good stuff on Collision. So let's just get into it. The Owen Hart tournament continues. On Dynamite, the opener was the women's semifinal match
was good.
between Mercedes and Athena. Mercedes beat her, so she's in the finals against the winner of Statlander and Jamie Hayter, which I believe is on Dynamite this week.
It's gonna be Statlander.
Can we all agree, like, I'm sure they had reasons for putting Athena in Ring of Honor all this time to try and maybe help some younger talent. Can we get her back on AEW television? Like, you forget, like, she's great. And this match was really good.
Yeah,
So, I mean, like, let's get her back on Dynamite and Collision. Can we not?
Fine.
Thank you. On the men's side,
Fine.
you had Angry Hangman, Okada agrees with that, by the way, based on his promo, against the wild card, which turned, I believe, as we kind of
I
predicted,
did.
turned out to be Josh Alexander. They had their match. Kind of surprisingly, Hangman did beat him with a cradle. It was an excellent match. Afterwards, so Hangman's going to face Kyle Fletcher in the semifinals. After the match, Kyle comes out with Don. They start brawling. Don says something to Josh Alexander. He jumps in and they beat down Hangman. So Josh Alexander is the newest member of the Don Callis family.
And that's a good.
And they weren't even done because we'll jump ahead because on Collision they had a tag match with Alexander and Takeshita against Ishii and Rocky Romero. Romero turns on Ishii. Trent Beretta, Max, you were asking for it, shows up
Oh, God.
again with his monkey wrench that hits Ishii with it, and they are also now part of the Don Callis
So it's
family.
a heel Roppongi Vice.
So it is a heel Roppongi Vice. So we have the reunited Roppongi Vice
Oh,
joining the Don Callis family.
Now it's 7 people. That's too many.
Well, you got
the max faction should be 5. 4?
I think 4.
No.
Well, you got-
no, 'cause
wait, you got Takeshita?
Here's what you need: a tag team, a woman, and 2 single stars.
Well, you got-
That's a faction.
So you got Takeshita, Fletcher, Archer, I guess, still. Alexander.
Brian Cage.
Cage, when he comes back, he has a lot. And
7.
Roppongi Vice. That's a lot
True.
of people.
Plus, think of the great factions. They've always been 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4
DX
or 5.
was 5.
Yeah, I'm saying 5.
NWO was 4.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
The
But,
Shield. Would you call that the trio or?
I mean, this could be another one of the
The
situations.
Nexus. It's gonna go down like the Nexus.
This could be another one of the situations where Cage comes back and it's like, Don, you never called me, and he comes back as a babyface.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Um,
You can't have Brian Cage as a babyface.
At any rate,
It's
so
like,
now
it's like
That's like John Cena.
Hulk Hogan being not racist. It just doesn't work.
Ah, yes. Good point.
I think a lot of people would say that they would hope that it worked.
yeah.
No, but it
But it
wouldn't
doesn't,
work. I
though.
mean, like it's Hulk Hogan.
Right, he
Yeah,
can't.
I
He's
mean,
gone
Hulk
beyond
Hogan.
the point of being like.
He's known for
Hey.
being racist at the port of Tampa. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's how they talked at the port.
Same
on his
sort of-
autobiography.
So again, it's
Roman was wrong.
it's
Got
Hangman and Fletcher in the Owen Hart semifinal. You also had in the other semifinal match, Will Ospreay against Takeshita. This was incredible,
Oh my god.
and just an
It
unbelievable
was
match.
so good.
Ospreay beat him with Stormbreaker. He's going to the finals, and I think we all expected. But if you didn't see this, go back and watch it. It was phenomenal. Also, let's talk about your Orange Hero.
Yes, his Orange Hero. So
you had the Hurt Syndicate. They hurt people. Defend the titles against the Gates of Agony successfully. Then out comes Friedman. In a segment right out of Attitude Era WWF, he offered to essentially bribe the Hurt Syndicate with ladies. We'll call them ladies.
I have a question here.
And
I have a question.
And the watch off of his wrist to Shelton Benjamin to join the Hurt Syndicate.
I have a question. Were these women like hookers, strippers? What was the deal here? Is that
It was inferred. It's inferred.
What's the ladder here?
It does it matter?
Yes, I mean, like, is this
Only to you.
Is this a crime? Yes or no?
It's a gray area, I think. Again.
Yeah.
Is this legal if they don't specifically say?
I'm really glad you're concerned about legalities when it comes to your hero.
Is that going to
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it was still thumbs down. Although your hero did allow them to still enjoy the company of the ladies and his watch. But this
Shelton.
I have to tell you, this did in modern day wrestling. This did seem somewhat out of place.
One at a time, man. One at a time.
It's like a Godfather promo.
In the main event of Dynamite.
I can't do it.
In the main event of Dynamite, you had the trios title match. The Death Riders with Moxley substituting for Pac against Max's desired wrestling babysitters, the Ops, but with Powerhouse Hobbs substituting for Hook. Now, let me ask you before you even talk about the match. Does the substitution or addition, either way you want to call it, of Hook change your answer?
No.
It does not.
Wait, isn't this like
Would
the show
Hook
that
also get down on the floor and build Legos and or bake a cake?
Yes.
I will
I don't
say
know.
this.
I think he'd be a pro Lego builder.
I don't know. He feels too cool for that.
I will say this. If it would have to be it would have to be extra pizzas ordered if the babysitters were Powerhouse Will Hobbs and Samoa Joe.
yeah, because they would crush the door. I mean, like they couldn't get in.
Although I would not be worried about security.
No.
If anybody tried anything at the house and saw those two, I think they'd be
And
going
Shibata.
to another dress. And Shibata.
Sure.
well, they wouldn't be scared by Shibata. I mean, like he's like a plain looking dude.
So you had the title match, which was also really good.
Also, what was I gonna say?
Well,
Isn't this the show where it beats out WCW and like?
oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes.
It's
I totally forgot.
They've
This
surpassed.
This was the history-making episode of Dynamite. I totally forgot to mention this right at the beginning. They have now been on the air longer than Nitro. They did allude to this during the broadcast. They didn't come out and mention Nitro
And say WCW.
or WCW, but they made it very clear. Eric Bischoff, just think about that as you criticize Tony, that his show has been on the air longer than yours and is going to continue to be because of the $500 million TV deal.
It's true.
So
real quick,
anyway,
I'm just trying to find the card for the final episode.
for the last Nitro?
Yeah.
I only remember that the quote unquote main event was Flair and Sting.
Well, that is an
Here we go. March 26th, 2001.
Oh wait. Okay, we'll pause. We'll pause and get back to the 6-man.
Okay, the results. There's a dark match.
What was it?
Mark Jindrak defeated Jason Jett.
Who?
Jason Jett. All right, they were all dark matches in a matter of speaking.
Yeah. Booker T defeated Scott Steiner.
That's actually a match.
Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman beat Shannon Moore and Evan Kargarius.
Oh, Evan Courageous, yeah.
Excuse
and
me.
Shannon Moore, yeah.
And Kaz Hayashi and Yang.
Kaz Hayashi and Jimmy Yang. Okay.
Shane Helms defeated Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Isn't Shane Helms
The Hurricane.
Hurricane, yeah.
against Chavo?
Against Chavito.
Yeah.
Chavito.
Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo defeated Lance Storm and Mike Awesome.
Okay.
Sean Stasiak, I'm assuming he's related to Stan,
Yes.
defeated Bam Bam Bigelow.
That result
Bam,
messed
bam.
up.
Yeah.
But okay.
Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman defeated Skipper,
Helix
and Kid
Skipper.
Romeo.
And
Yo, Romeo.
Kid Romeo?
I don't remember him.
And then Sting defeated Ric Flair.
Sting against Flair.
Who's Kid Romeo?
Kid Romeo?
Wait, they wrestled twice?
Yeah. I just remember the show was outside, and it was Flair against Sting,
Can you go?
and Shane came out at the end for the simulcast where he announced that he had purchased WCW.
Classic.
So you had the trios title match, which was also really good. It got crazy at the end. The Young Bucks came out, then Swerve came out from the crowd
Willow
and took
came
them out. Marina tries to interfere. Willow, I believe, speared her on the stage and took her out. It ended up with Moxley and Joe alone in the ring. Moxley gets him in the coquina clutch and taps him out. So your new AEW Trio champions are the Ops. A lot of the other baby faces came out for the champagne celebration.
Babysitter faces.
Yeah, the babysitter faces. This was great. This leads into the collision, which opened up with the Death Riders coming out and trashing the place, destroying cameras, and then Moxley cuts the promo and challenges Joe. So I presume that's going to be your main event for Double or Nothing.
Joe is
Does Joe beat him?
No.
If they were to babysit, do they bring the belts with them?
Yes.
Oh, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
bold.
True.
Finally, there was some good we talk about this a lot, stops and starts with pushing people and questionable decisions like that. So this week there was some good news.
It's mostly
and
on
there
Tony
was some-
Khan.
There was some good news and there was some bad news. We'll start with the good. So on Collision, they had a match between Kevin Knight and Lance Archer. And they bring these two out, and I'm thinking, oh no. It's one thing if Kevin Knight, who is brand new, and you're trying to get over, loses in a tremendous opening pay-per-view match to Will Ospreay. Okay, that's fine.
That's the so-called best wrestler.
That's fine. They had a great match. The people loved it.
But we know who the real one is.
But I'm thinking,
Hornswoggle.
oh my God, this kid's gonna lose on Collision to Lance Archer. No, he did not. He beat Archer clean. So thank goodness, because that would have just been really bad and made no sense.
Oh, we also got the return of Minnie Monet.
The bad news. Speaking of Minnie Monet, the Harley Cameron push is over. They did a tag match on Collision where it was her and Mercedes against Statlander and Julia Hart.
It was over since Grand Slam.
And granted, Stat is still in the Owen Hart tournament, and they don't want to beat her. They don't want to beat her, but she beats Harley clean. So, unfortunately, whatever momentum they had for Harley coming out of Australia seems to be gone, which is unfortunate.
Cameron.
We've seen this.
Let me cut my promo real quick.
Go ahead.
Tony, you screwed the pooch one too many times, man. First this, the Outrunners, now this.
Yeah, the Outrunners is
Yeah, 'cause
another
let
one.
me give you a million. When was the last time we saw the Outrunners on TV?
Too long.
It's been a while.
Months, would you say?
No, I don't think it's been months.
I would.
It's been a while.
About 2
And you could have. I could book this. I could book a feud.
Talk
I could
into
book a
the
feud with them
microphone.
right now. It'd be so simple. FTR Outrunners. FT Outrunners.
Oh, I would think we're going to see that match
Yeah,
eventually.
no, because Tony Khan. is saying,
FTR was going to end up destroying them.
I want to push the XTNA talent. Oh.
No, I mean,
who couldn't get?
well, wait.
Who didn't go to the WWE?
Well,
No, you have people who have good gimmicks who are that
Look.
can get the people that get you over.
Yeah.
And you are wasted on.
oh no, well
You
all
like
right.
the steak and what?
Have we seen the
sizzle.
all right? It has been a while. Have we seen the Outrunners since they lost the Revolution?
No.
All right, it's been a little while.
Yeah, they lost and they're hiding in Ring of Honor. It's like
Yeah.
Tony.
Look,
Khan.
it's a legitimate. It's a totally legitimate criticism.
Because
that-
Tony hates people
that-
that are over.
It's just that people get and look, it was the same thing with Private Party. That you get some momentum and then it stops.
Then Tony shuts them
Which is
right
why
down.
I was absolutely. Which I was like, I was like, please don't beat Kevin Knight already. Please So he didn't do that. So that was good. But now, granted, and they just with the women that they have there, I don't know that Harley's necessarily ready for a main event spot, but like the people who are getting behind her, just go with it.
But there's one.
Give her a
There's one person on TV every single week. It's John Moxley. Even before he won the title, it's John Moxley. John Moxley.
Well, he's a huge star.
I don't care. Put him on Ring of Honor or something like that.
No,
We're lucky to see Adam Cole.
care.
he's a huge star.
We're lucky to see Adam Cole.
I don't put it every single week.
Yeah, well,
Or Kenny. We're lucky to see Kenny and Omega like actually wrestle on Dynamite. Or Adam Cole, but God knows how much John Moxley promos we get. Oh my
he's
God.
the world champion.
No, but all he
How
does,
does that mean anything?
all he does
What?
is cut promos.
It's the same thing. Oh, I'm gonna take over AEW. Blah blah.
All right,
holding
wait.
the title hostage.
You may not.
Blah blah.
all right,
no one can
wait.
beat me.
You may
They're
not.
all the same.
You may not like the promos,
Because they're all
but
the same.
you need to see the world champion on television.
Every week,
Have the squash match.
doing nothing.
Not him saying the same.
He
Riddles
just
every
lost.
single
He
week.
just lost clean in the middle to your babysitter Joe.
Because the plan changed.
I don't know about that. I think that was probably the plan all along. It was Hobbs instead of Hook. All right, but meanwhile,
He says the same weird
Right,
riddle. Weird
yeah.
riddle.
Well, no,
things
I have to
every
say
week,
the promo we
and then
cut
you
on.
have no idea what they mean, and then he
Now,
answers it with another riddle.
This week was better because he just straight up challenged Joe. This was there's Lesnar. He's mad. He got tapped out. They lost the titles.
Yeah, he
won.
got hooked in the middle.
He did. He got choked out right in the
They
middle
all
of
mean
the ring.
the same thing. There's nothing different.
Regardless, it is important.
So repetitive.
It is. I think
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. But it's still. Would you agree with me that it is important that the world champion be on television?
Yeah, but not speaking in
Okay.
random riddles.
Okay, fair enough. But regardless, this week of AEW television was excellent. And again, if
Solid.
you didn't see if Ospreay and Takeshita, go back and watch that. It was unbelievable. Now, let's move on to the
WrestleMania.
double main event
WrestleMania.
because we also
The buy one
watched-
get one free night, two
No,
night on a
both-
buy one. get one.
Extravaganza.
And that guy said at WrestleMania.
nights of WrestleMania.
Oh boy.
Again,
Are we doing match by match?
Oh my God.
We watched a lot of wrestling. So let's do each night separately, and then we'll do. I'll have a little bit of a wrap up at the end.
And a little bit of Raw too. A little bit mix.
So for again, I'm just gonna say this
little bit
really
of
fast
that.
because it was a problem again. Maybe less so with night 2, but night 1 again. This pacing is an issue. There
When
are
it ends.
four matches in 2 hours. Like, come on, man, you gotta pick it up.
Each match is 30 minutes.
No, there's still all the filler in between with the commercials.
Yeah.
You got a lot of
Here-
that production quality needs some money, and I mean,
Yeah.
all those custom entrances they cost a pretty penny.
Here's what my overview of the show before we get into it match by match was. I am not going to call this a bad show. It was not a bad show.
The night 1 or night 2?
Night 1.
Okay.
But nothing was, I felt like,
Amazing.
particularly
Well,
great until the end. So the show opened for the bronze medal world title with Jay
No,
against
it's silver.
Gunther.
It's silver.
With Jay against
No,
Gunther.
no, it's silver.
Well, wait. Well, that was
They
well,
consolidized the titles.
Well, all right. We'll call it the silver medal because that originally that universal title was 2
Because
belts and
Roman
now it's
was
just
too
1.
good. Put himself in the
I mean, I'll say
gonna
this:
be
it was
pinned.
not a bad match. Jay ends up after how many splashes did he give him? 3.
3.
Ends up choking out Gunther. He wins the title. Here's what I'll say: if
that's what you say.
if you like to eat, if you're a eater who eats,
Yeah.
you probably love this,
It was so
and that's great.
It was amazing.
Was it it was not a great match. It was fine, and the people seemed to like it, so it was a success.
I mean,
You're a eater who eats. What do you think?
I feel like he made Gunther look weak
Good.
because he locked in. Let me
Or he made
demonstrate real
himself
quick.
look strong.
Let me
No,
demonstrate.
no,
I'm
no,
actually gonna choke
no.
you. I'm actually gonna choke you. Just let me just
Oh,
get the
Do
mic
I-
over here. You locked in the choke. Now, tap. And that's what happened.
Oh, so in your
That's what
mind, he
happened.
tapped too quickly.
There was no struggle.
You are correct. I did like that he choked him out though because it's very Gunther to really
Yeah.
put the submission move on.
That
No,
was.
but if you're Gunther and you're like a big strong boy,
yeah, he
Then I mean,
got
like,
a taste of his
He
own.
should have
medicine
sold
there.
better.
I
then
got
I mean,
something
like
to say.
he should like goddamn give him a little more struggle.
He
more,
did. All right, go.
Put a little
go.
more effort in
So,
that.
Chris, if you're watching this, you heard my thing last week about how you'll bet anything. So I'll take the Orlando store. You can just send the keys over.
You're gonna collect on that?
Yeah.
All right.
So you would just,
You heard it,
I'll
everybody.
take the Orlando store $100,000. I do take
$100,000. You
Yeah,
want?
I do take Venmo.
I think Venmo has
Venmo,
a.
Cash App,
Can you?
Zen.
I don't know that you
They
can
cap
Venmo
it.
that
It's
much.
called.
I think that might be too
could
much.
just
You can
do
Venmo
separate-
one time.
You might need a
just
wire
do
transfer.
Yeah, that's more like
You
a
could
wire
just- you could
transfer.
just do $10,000 things, whatever it's called. But yeah, so
Good math.
I'll either take the Orlando store, the whole Orlando store, or the $100,000.
$100,000. You'll take it in $10,000 increments.
Yeah,
All right, an installment plan. if
or
you want.
100. I think that's right, or whatever it's called. 100.
No.
Is that right? How much is
Yeah,
that?
1,000, 100.
Yeah.
1,000. Yeah. That's,
Oh, well, it's nice that you're flexible on the payment plan.
Every day, so 3, 6, 9. So like 3 years,
I'll take
and then
10.
you'd have the whole
I'll
thing.
take 10,000 tens.
All right. So after that, after the title change, the world, for a while, the show was just kind of like, New Day beat
It's
the
a new
War
day.
Raiders.
the War Raiders in their Giant Gonzalez gear.
Jacob fought 2 BLA night.
Jade beat Naomi. I did want to say, I have to say something about Jade Cargill because, I mean, there was nothing wrong with the match. But when you look at her and then you see like where women's wrestling is at the highest levels, including another match we're going to talk about, like she's still got a ways to go. I mean, she looks like $1 million. She definitely,
She can talk. She can talk.
but it's just not there yet. And especially when you see what some of these other people are doing, and we're going to get to that. And not just in both companies,
Yeah.
she is still very much a work in progress. In fact, I listened to both Observer wrap-up shows, and he said, I don't watch enough NXT to be able to render an opinion about this, but he's like, she's not even as good as a lot of the women in NXT.
I mean,
agree.
like she couldn't last like an hour, like 60 minutes, like what was Roxanne Perez?
Oh, yeah. No,
In the Rumble,
Yeah.
she couldn't hang with like Stephanie Vacour.
Oh, no. Or Julie. I mean, yeah, those are
Julia.
those are serious
Yeah.
international
I mean, did you see the
trained
match last
workers.
night? Not to take it
Oh,
off
I
the
saw.
rails.
Oh, I
I
saw
did
it.
not
The
see
Raw
that.
match
It was
last night?
very good.
It was really good, and she had just wrestled in the Fatal 4-Way,
Yeah.
and she's going to wrestle again
Yeah,
tonight.
the standard of women's wrestling in both major companies has become really high, and that's great. These
Yeah.
women are really good, and so she's still got work to do. As Sam said, Jacob Fatu beat LA Knight for the U.S. title. Even against LA Knight, who clearly is over with the people. Like this crowd was behind Fatu.
He screams.
This was, I'd say, better.
man-
this was pretty good.
Wait, he's good.
Jacob
He cut the
Fatu's
promo.
yeah. Jacob Fatu's great.
The
The people were totally behind
He
this.
paid his dues on the indies.
So this was
I was
fine.
He-
It wasn't
he
great.
Cuts a good,
it
he
was
cuts
fine.
a weird, scary promo.
Oh, he's terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he's really good.
he's
I saw him
everything.
I saw him in GCW.
He's everything you wanted in a
Okay.
Samoan wrestler.
Then you had first, since unfortunately Rey Mysterio tore his groin on SmackDown.
Oh,
Out of all the injuries, you
They substituted Ray Fenix.
oh, also, let's talk about the acquisition of AAA for a second.
If you want to talk about how they bought AAA, that's fine.
Acquisition.
Why?
God damn it, amazing offer. Because now they get that.
Talk into the microphone.
Now they get that in with the Mexicans.
Well, they've been wanting to apparently, they've been wanting to expand into Latin America
Mucho
for
dinero.
years.
Mucho dinero,
And
senor.
from what I was listening to, again,
And they're also getting Hijo del Vikingo out
from
of this deal.
what I heard
So,
from
like,
Meltzer, the AAA's been looking to do this for years. So apparently everybody wins.
I just hope that they have. Apparently, they're doing it in AEW with CMLL. They're going to run at the old venues.
Yeah.
In Mexico City.
Yeah,
Which I really would love to go see.
AEW. Oh, that show's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
No, but
AEW is going to run in Arena Mexico.
This is
I've been. So I was there in 2 years ago.
Oh, you were in Arena Mexico?
Yeah, or Coliseo, whichever one. The two. Maybe it's Mexico. I was in.
Yes, the CML like home base arena is Arena
Well,
Mexico.
that's what it was. That's what it was.
And AEW is going to run there in June. Oh, that show's going to be great.
It was incredible, and that was like incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, those people are going to be going nuts.
Is paying an investment with these luchadors. I mean, they got Penta, they got Rey, they got
Grande Americano.
Grande Americano.
Right.
Who also, let's just give it up. If they can teach whoever under that mask, I don't know who, it's not Chad Gable, how to work that style of wrestling, because he's not that.
No,
Well,
they're gonna do a Rey
got-
Mysterio gimmick. They're gonna unmask him.
Eventually.
They got
Well,
Kingo now, so
all
it's
right,
like a win-win-win.
let's talk about this because I thought that these two were going to go out and try and steal the show, and they really didn't. I mean, look,
No.
if you've listened to this show at all, you know I think Rey Fenix is great. Grande is also great in his own right, but it was just
They kept saying Ray Phoenix.
It was they kept calling him Phoenix instead of Fenix, but it was just kind of
Maybe
was
they changed
okay.
it.
It was just
No, they changed
although Grande did do this one move I don't think I've ever seen when he went up and did the moonsault, but he did like another half a rotation, so he landed on Fenix on his back. That was unbelievable. But here's the other thing.
I mean,
So
Grande Americano is great.
Fenix just got there. Why are you beating him already?
Because you got to look like...
Yeah.
Couldn't you? I mean, couldn't you put Dragon Lee in that spot?
I was gonna say that. I wish that.
If Grande was going to get the win here, and that's fine. Don't beat Fenix already. It's almost as if like they couldn't call an audible, just because of Ray's unfortunate injury. The match, it was okay. It wasn't, again, like all these matches in a row. It was just okay.
I mean,
I think it probably has something to do with the quick replacement, and also the fact that
like they didn't have that much time.
he
to
still
think
got.
about
They
it.
gave the guy a WrestleMania moment. Like that's
They
amazing.
did. Oh well,
You know, his
we're gonna
moment.
get to that too. WrestleMania moments and their value.
Oh yeah. Well, some are greater than others.
So then we get to
Randy Orton
the
Open
sort of,
Challenge.
I guess, much anticipated women's title match with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Now, it was. I'll say this right up front.
I didn't watch this.
This was also not great, but it was not a train wreck. People that thought it might go really badly, it did not. It was.
I thought I had some apprehension.
It was sloppy at times.
Well, Charlotte Flair.
You know.
So like,
But it seems to me, I have to believe that the now infamous promo, I think in the end probably really helped because like those
100%.
people, I think we would all agree, hated Charlotte Flair. Just hated her.
does anybody like Charlotte Flair? I mean, like,
Well,
Claire
not
Andrade doesn't.
so. It
Andrade
was,
doesn't. The other two.
again,
I mean,
it was
cutting a
okay.
sheep promo
It was
on it.
not it was not a bad match. It was again, it got
Also, I think
it got a little,
questions.
but at least here it was the right finish. Tiffany beat her with the triple jump moonsault. The people were happy. So overall, this was a positive. Again, not a great match by any means, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Tiffany won, which was what should have happened. She should not be losing that belt to Charlotte. And the people were happy. Agreed?
yeah. But I have two
Okay.
problems. Oh, who's winning? That blonde with the blue and pink gear?
They did look very similar.
No,
The
but-
gear was very
no, but
similar.
their hair was like over them.
Their-
So I couldn't see
the-
who was who.
yeah.
It was complicated.
It
I mean, like when you have
wasn't,
two
but-
people whose hair's like over them, you can't see their faces. In the wrestling, basically the
Like,
exact same
there was
gear.
there was a lot of pink and blonde hair in the ring.
It's complicated. I didn't understand the difference. I thought
I think that's the whole gimmick, though. I think the whole point is that they're
of Charlotte
like,
Flair.
because she's like the new version. Like she's almost like supposed to be like
Charlotte
Charlotte
Flair.
Flair 2.0 or whatever.
The better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now.
better Charlotte Flair.
After a
Maybe she'll have 6 failed versions.
after now, so after all this of what was
Gonna get with Andrade.
after what was
That'd be a
That'd be crazy.
quite a fairly long show, none of which was really better than it was pretty good. You finally get to the main event, which was the triple threat match with Punk,
The long-awaited
Rollins,
for Paul
and
Heyman's love.
Roman Reigns.
I found out me and Paul Heyman had the same
This was
Rolex.
excellent.
I found out me and Paul Heyman have the same Rolex.
Yeah, well, one of you has a Rolex.
I did.
Right.
We both have the Rolex.
One of you has the Canal Street special.
One of you went to Canal Street, and one of you has a
Yeah,
Rolex.
Paul.
I will let you all figure out who is who.
Paul.
Obviously, Sam went to a
But-
obviously, Paul Heyman
This
went
was-
to Al Street.
I got enough money to spend. I mean,
This look, it got a little melodramatic towards the end, I think, with Paulie.
Paulie choosing his
But this was excellent.
Paulie
This was really good.
The match.
So now Paulie goes off with Rollins. He wins.
I
you
knew
know.
it from the beginning. Oh my god.
he won the
I
match.
called
we
it.
got in Living Color.
Oh yeah, we got
That's
it.
great.
You know, Living Color was there to play Punk out. Oh no, this was
Paul Heyman.
This
The
was-
promo package. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
The
Was that
super
Burning-
long promo
Burning in
package.
My light.
No. The one that they put out before.
as to give him time for Living Color to set up.
No. The one that like they released like days before. Like
No.
I
Oh
think-
no, what was this?
you guys should watch it. It's so sick.
Wait, what was it?
It's just like they put out like a video package like just about kind of like giving like the history of the match, like why they're all kind of doing this, and then there's like old clips of Punk and Heyman.
Oh, I don't
and
know. We didn't
Heyman
see
being
this.
like, "One day I'm gonna walk you down at WrestleMania," blah blah blah, and it's like super dramatic music. It's sick. You guys should have.
Oh no, I don't think we saw
Also,
that. But
what was
no,
also
the
not on my
match
bingo
was
card-
great.
Yeah.
What I wasn't on my bingo card was Paul Heyman kissing CM Punk and Triple H kissing Shawn Michaels. Those were not on my bingo
Yeah.
cards for 2025.
But well, apparently,
But as like
we
his
saw
son-in-law,
one.
as his
Well, I
father-in-law,
know-
he
I
took a
know-
page out of his father-in-law's book with kissing someone without consent.
Well, I think that was consent.
I knew it from the beginning,
I
guys.
don't know.
No,
But
this
Sean,
but no, this was a legitimate WrestleMania main event. This was really good. Overall, why are you showing me paper clips? I don't.
I'll pick one.
I'm not in need of office supplies right now. In the middle of our show,
We're doing a podcast here.
we are doing a podcast, and
Okay.
they're messing with paper clips.
Go.
All right, so again, not a great show by any means, but the main event was actually very good. Night 2,
Oh, that was much better.
they opened with the three-way for the women's title, the other women's title, with Rhea, Bianca, and Io. This match was awesome.
Oh, so
These,
Yeah.
as I was talking about, I mean, you look at Jade Cargill and you look at these three, like they are in another universe. This was fantastic.
Well,
And
wait,
What a great match this was.
Yeah.
3 top tier workers.
Oh yeah, these all three of them are just great.
Io
This was
did
this was
say
excellent.
on Raw that she beat Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, so that means she is technically the best. And then let's just say how great of a worker Io Sky is,
She's
because she
fantastic.
wrestled those two and then she wrestled like one of the best youngest women stars in Stephanie McCare.
Mm-hmm.
That's working right there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they were
The
great.
next
Io,
day,
surprisingly, I don't know if anybody expected Io to retain, but that's what happened. Excellent
Yeah.
match.
Wait,
Agreed.
also-
Like this was one of the better things of that we saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
The spot where Io like jumped up on
Yeah.
Rhea's shoulders like while she was on like the second rope and was gonna like flip her back, and then Rhea like pulled her forward and smashed her face on
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
this is
Crazy.
this whole pay-per-view is proving to me who's Paul Levesque's favorites and who aren't.
Well,
Because who gets buried and who doesn't.
well.
I mean, I don't think anybody gets
No, but,
buried.
I mean,
it's
you're on-
WrestleMania.
Who are the favorites
Oh no,
here?
we're gonna get to what way a bit of burial, but we're gonna get to that.
Well, yeah, I guess.
we're gonna get to that. Believe me. So this was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they brought out Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest for their big mean guy street fight match. Also really good. Okay, this show got the first portion of the show was excellent.
Another
All
match,
pieces.
another match that I didn't expect to actually care about.
Yeah,
And then when it happened, I
totally.
was like, damn, this is
Yeah,
good.
it's like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big Drew McIntyre guy.
Apparently, after the match,
Also, how he took his selfie.
He did take a selfie.
He did.
But
No.
Damian Priest told the ref that apparently he couldn't breathe.
Yeah, I don't know if he was
No,
just
but did
blown
you,
up or
have
what.
you just, did you see
Yeah,
Drew
he saw it.
McIntyre's on Facebook? Because it's funny stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
It's
Yeah,
him and
this
Bronson
was-
Reed.
Drew, and I was actually kind of surprised. Drew beat him clean.
But you know about Bronson Reed's Facebook?
That's
something.
so. This was really good. Then the hits kept on coming because they went to the 4-way for the Intercontinental title with Steiner, Pentagon, Balor, and Dom, and this was also really good.
yeah.
This again I thought over delivered.
And Dom
And
got the belt.
Dirty Dom
now,
got the win.
yeah, surprising. Dom won the title. Now
Very dominant.
I got a first. There was from
Dirty
first-hand
Dom, eh?
account. I was listening to the Observer shows, and Brian Alvarez was there both nights.
Oh,
he
rich.
said the biggest pop of the 2 nights was Dom winning that title. Somehow,
That's awesome.
for some reason, that crowd really wanted to see Dom win that belt. To the point where he said he leaves, and I guess people in the back or somebody was telling him, no, Dom, go back to the ring and take another curtain call. And then he went back, and then he got back up on the ropes and showed the belt again.
That's awesome.
Well, he's a young guy who people hate him, but they also really like him.
Well, yeah, they love to hate him. That's why he's such a good heel.
Yeah. I was...
He a friend of the store because he was wearing.
True. He was wearing our shirt. And
Yeah.
I was questioning...
What was it?
Now, again, they did
Javon
not...
Evans in NXT.
Again, they didn't beat... He did not... Who did he beat? Who did he pin? Balor?
Balor.
Yeah, he pinned Balor, so there's
that's
going to be a
obviously
little
leading to trouble.
little juicy stuff in there.
So,
Did you say a little juice?
but
little juicy stuff.
They didn't pin Steiner, but I still thought why are they taking this belt off Steiner? But now we found out on Raw last night. I was I thought to myself I wonder what they have now in mind now for him. Obviously now we know that he is basically
Part of the gang.
part of Dangerous Alliance 2.0.
Yeah. And he's going right after Jey Uso, I think.
Oh sure,
I
can see
think that is I think that's why they take the belt off him.
look,
But
They're
do you have him beat
There's
Jay?
no.
It's going to be Braun versus Jey.
I would
Do you
think-
have him beat Jay though?
Yeah. Not the first
not
time.
right away.
Not right
I
away,
don't think
but
you're
he
beating
will.
Jay right
No, let
away.
him cook, let him
Eventually.
Yeah, let Jay cook. Let him cook up.
Well, look, again, I think at some point, based on what we saw on Raw last night, that there's going to have to be a Jay versus Sami Zayn match at some point. But down the line, could I see Steiner beating Russo for that title? Yeah, definitely. He's great. He's great. And in the
That
end,
whole fact- that whole
him
team is great.
being part of the new Dangerous Alliance,
Wait,
I think is a
there
positive.
does need to be
for
a
him.
third member.
Predictions of who's gonna be the third member.
Well, I heard
third
some.
man.
I heard somebody give this thought. This is
Cody?
not my This is not my original thought. But I did see something somebody I think this is on Facebook or something. I mean, in the original version of the Dangerous Alliance, you might remember this. He had Medusa. I mean, her husband's now is now in there. I mean, if they're gonna go with heel Becky, which I think is gonna be a challenge.
I was gonna say Mariah May.
Yeah.
If they're gonna go with heel Becky,
yeah.
wouldn't she? Now,
No,
wouldn't she
doesn't
make
have
sense?
time. No, she's in the feud with Liv and
But that's
no,
not-
not anymore. It's Lyra.
Now it's
That
now.
was live.
Oh, yeah.
But it
Totally.
doesn't
I
really matter.
could
So I
see
know
that.
I could
Look, if
throw out a name Mariah May.
we're kind of digressing here, but I don't know what they have planned for. Wait, I mean, if this is, I thought it was. I mean, I don't know what they have planned for Becky. Obviously, long term, is she going to go home for a little while and then maybe at SummerSlam they'll
Nope.
do her against Lyra?
Nope.
But if she's going to be around, if she's now a regular on television again,
Yeah.
I could absolutely see her being with her husband
I was-
as part of the new Dangerous Alliance.
Well, I would have said Mariah May. Push.
I don't know that-
Becky's gonna be fine wherever.
I don't know
is.
that she fit. I mean, if she's coming,
She
I,
could.
If
Another-
she's coming in,
Oh wait, another young star
I
under
don't know
the
that she
tutelage
fits in
of
with
Seth
that.
Rollins.
I don't know that Becky to me makes more sense because Seth is there.
That makes sense.
But Seth doesn't what was the cohesiveness? Seth, they have to combine the two thingies together.
also, where's Braun? I don't know where Braun.
Well,
comes
again,
in.
if they're
Is
looking to
Braun
expand and they want a female member, I think heel Becky makes sense.
Wait, but who do you think? But if they get
or
a
it
female
could be
member,
another
who do you
big
think
man
it's
and be
gonna
Rusev.
I think they're going to bring
Yeah.
Hogan back.
No, No, I think Rusev.
96.
I bet I know
Actually,
you're playing
I
for
agree with
that.
Sam. I think Rusev would be good for them.
Okay.
They're gonna do 96 all over again. It's gonna come down, drop the leg, the third man, then they're gonna. Be
Oh
like,
God.
Woo!
So again, first 3 matches of this
Well, you
show.
have a
were-
national
Yo,
hall.
the first 3
What
matches of this
up,
show
right?
were all really good. Now we get to, I think, something that's going to spark a little bit of a debate here.
Randy
Out comes Randy Orton for his open
Well, I'm
challenge.
just gonna get my,
Now,
Oh, yeah,
CM
baby.
Punk
the
Napalm promo ready.
subject, the question of who his opponent was going to be was the topic of some discussion in our house. We threw out Nick Aldis,
Rusev.
Aleister Black, Rusev, Solo Sikoa. But it's interesting enough, we did not say his name, but he appeared anyway. It was Joe Hendry.
He went from
Paul believes.
TNA to the WrestleMania.
With the TNA World title
Yeah.
at WrestleMania. Now, my initial thought was, after I was like, oh my God, it's Joe Hendry. I was like, please do not beat him with an RKO in 30 seconds. So they didn't do that.
Not 30 seconds.
He got a little bit of offense before Orton RKO'd him and pinned him. Then
This part I
he
didn't like at all.
then he kind of helps Hendry up. I'm just like, please don't do this.
Randy does what Randy wants.
He RKO'd him a second time.
This was so
Not even
Now.
such a bad decision.
Here's
was
let's
such a bad
talk about
decision.
this because I think
He
can-
was so over.
he was absolutely over in front of that
Okay,
crowd.
but why not have Randy help him up, show him to the crowd, actually,
Help
show him
the-
to the crowd, actually
Right.
Help the
pick him
kid.
up,
I
because you made him look like a heel.
yeah. Here's the thing.
Oh no!
And now he's going.
Be-
No, I'm
wait,
going
let me
first.
talk.
I'm-
Let me talk. I'm going to give you a chance. Let me talk.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
They're thinking, they're thinking on this is that simply by having Hendry out there in front of that crowd at WrestleMania with Randy Orton, as they say, gives him the rub.
I mean,
And
yeah.
thus that is that and
I mean,
thus
yeah,
that in and
but-
of itself is a success.
I
Now,
mean, yeah.
I understand that logic, and I'm going to let you respond with your opinion. But here's the thing, and this was Meltzer's thought, and I think there's some validity to this. If simply being in the ring with Randy Orton at WrestleMania and getting beat like that and RKO'd twice, is enough to give somebody the rub, so to speak.
I don't like how you're saying that. Okay.
Why wouldn't they do it with one of their own talents? They did not. If Jeff Cobb, there's rumors that Jeff Cobb is coming in. They didn't do it with Jeff Cobb. There's obviously talk that Aleister Black's coming in.
Well,
They didn't do it.
I
No,
think
let me
that's pretty
finish.
certain
They
now.
didn't do it with Aleister Black. They could have brought up any number of people from NXT that are their talents,
Trick Williams,
and
Oh,
they did not do that either.
Ethan Page.
So, I feel like they certainly didn't have to do the second RKO. I feel like if he had beaten him, if he had just beaten him, picked him up, shook his hand, and that would have been the end of it,
That
I
was
would have
so
felt
bad.
better about this.
No, 'cause
I
it makes
just-
Randy
I
look
just-
like a heel. That
I
makes
just-
Joe Hendry look like a jobber.
I wish this had been. I mean, I wish this had been handled in a way that made Hendry look a little bit better
Competent.
coming out of it. Sam, I know you have a lot to say about this. Go.
First off, this was gonna happen anyway. It's Randy Orton. They're not. It's Randy Orton right now. They're not getting a 5-star classic out of him. So
No, I'm not
they're just
suggesting
any
that.
person. If you send Trick Williams out there, Wesley, Jeff Cobb out there, the same thing's gonna
Right,
happen
but that's not.
every
But
damn
that's the
time.
point.
Hey,
if this
also,
is, if no, wait,
no
let-
one's gonna get the bigger pop than Joe. I mean, you think people are gonna cheer like
No,
that
I agree.
for
That's
Jeff
a good
goddamn
point.
Cobb?
Oh, no.
I mean, like, well, this is
That's
the
a good
reaction.
point. That's a fair point.
Everybody be quiet. That's gonna be the crowd reaction for if Jeff Cobb comes out. Except you're an insane New Japan. Insane New Japan Mark. Yes.
Whoa, buddy, chill.
No.
You sound like
Which
your
the
hero.
modern wrestling
You
fan.
sound like your hero. It's an effing indie promotion.
Which the modern wrestling fan doesn't watch.
Wait. In fairness, you have to understand those people that are in that crowd and travel from all over the world to be there. Those are your hardest of the hardcore wrestling fans. I'm not saying he would have gotten the same reaction as Henry because I don't think he would have. Those people would have known who Jeff Cobb was.
You had Joe Henry.
Absolutely.
Sam, once again, you sound like your hero. It's an indie promotion,
Henry.
Sam. You sound like your hero right now.
Wait,
Joe
Those
Henry
are so insane.
Who was in the ring with some of the greatest people in wrestling right now.
He
I'm
was.
talking men like Roman Reigns,
He was.
CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
Right, but he didn't
And
really
now
do
he
anything
gets to
there
fight
either.
Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Tag Joe Hendry in this. Joe Hendry, please come on the pod. I know it looks like a hot mess now, but
Okay.
we can get better. And Randy, Paul Levesque believes, Sean believes, this is not going to be the last time we're going to see. This is not going to be the last time.
They believe
Vince
to
McMahon
they believe to a point.
Vince McMahon would have a seizure if he saw a TNA World Championship champion with the belt coming
Right.
out to
But then
fight one
look-
of
all right,
Randy.
He's
one
rolling over in his metaphorical grave.
Right, but
He'd
all
be
right,
like this.
let's just ask the
Put the
question.
camera on you. Be like this.
Oh,
my gosh.
okay. All right, let's just look. You're the here. Let's just ask the question.
I mean, like,
I'll
golly,
ask
no,
both
I'm
of
not
you.
done yet. I'm not done yet.
Oh,
Golly
okay.
G.
Golly gee.
He's on a roll.
Okay, calm down, Roman Reigns.
Go ahead.
Golly G.
What else you got?
I mean,
What was it?
Joe
Suck a
Hendry.
trash.
Yeah.
This is not the last time we're going to see him.
Meanwhile,
They're going to need a European wrestler for Clash of the Castle. And John Cena has the title.
He did say he wanted
That's
to
not.
fight Cena.
You don't want that to happen.
Oh, I want that to happen. Because you can say that he main evented a pay-per-view
You don't-
for the
that's not
world
gonna
title against John
That's
Cena.
not going to happen.
It can
Look,
happen.
What
if-
I think you know.
If
that
the high-ups in WWE believe...
I'm sticking up for your guy. I wish he had been treated better if they were going to put
I
out
agree.
there.
They screw
Also,
up the
no,
Rumble.
I was
You're
gonna
the
say-
other big Joe Henry fan
Oh, yeah.
here.
No, Joe Hendry 100% should have won, and I'll tell you why.
He should have beaten Orton.
No, I'll tell you why. I don't care if you have neck surgery, Kevin Owens. Interfere in the match. I don't care if you just got neck surgery. It's not that big of a deal. But
That would have been something.
he comes out
I
in
would
that
have
race,
loved that.
clocks him
If
with
something,
clocks
that
him
would have
with-
been that. Oh, you would have talked about a crowd popping. Those people would have lost their minds. If somehow Owen, this may be the best Booker M idea you've ever had.
You could have someone.
Yeah.
That would've
wheeling
been
out in a
awesome.
wheelchair,
Could it be another
clocking
TNA
something.
person?
If he gets
We-
up out of the wheelchair
Yeah, get him in a
and like
wheel him
hits
out.
him with a crutch.
Yeah.
Listen.
that would have gotten 10 stars.
The crowd popped the night before when Lex Luger did it, so-
Hit him with the crutch. Henry hits whatever his finisher is, rolls
It's
him
a,
over,
it's a,
wins.
it's a,
That
it's
would
a,
have been so much
it's a
better,
power.
and then actually would have done something.
His
for
finisher
the
is a
That-
power
crowd.
honestly,
slam called the standing
that-
I
ovation.
don't care if you got neck surgery.
That may be the best Booker M idea you've had. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would
That
have
would
been
have been
awesome.
such a better ending.
If Joe got the
Alright.
win over,
Yes,
All right, let's-
and then that actually does something to the feud. Joe Hendry doesn't look like a geek, and that makes Randy don't look like a heel.
No.
Also, I'm
Alright.
so happy.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Randy Orton is now challenging John
Oh
Cena
my
for the
God.
title.
Oh, wait,
It's
we're
gonna be
gonna
cool.
get to that.
Men against
We're
each
going.
other.
Oh, believe me, we're getting to that.
I'm
Okay.
so excited.
Let's
5
bottom line.
stars incoming.
Yeah.
Let's
Or
bottom
like
line.
negative 5 stars.
You're the
Oh,
big,
Kenny and
you're,
Okada.
you're the big you're
More
the
like
of the
negative 5
you're the
stars
biggest
and add a couple zeros. to
you're the
that,
biggest
you know?
Henry fan in the room.
believer here.
So
That
let's
sounds like
just
I'm in a
kinda
cult,
bottom
but
line.
okay.
You're a close second.
Deal.
And I'll ask you too.
No.
In the end, taking this segment as a whole, are you satisfied with how, as a Henry fan, are you satisfied with how that went?
No.
This appears to contradict your argument.
No, I mean, like, it contradicts that. I don't know what that word means. I haven't learned that in English yet.
Well, you seem to be really happy with how this went.
No, I'm not happy. I said, like, I'm talking about how no one else would get the crowd reaction.
Oh, no,
But
I don't
still,
just-
It feels
Right.
awful
Well,
that
wait.
you made this guy who's, like, the biggest thing, one of the biggest things in wrestling right now.
Into the microphone.
Would you say that Joe Hendry is one of the biggest things in wrestling?
He's
And
he-
you made him look like a
Co-
loser.
3 months
Oh,
ago,
all
I
right,
would
I
have
didn't
said
think
it
that-
confidently. Now
I did not think that's where we
They
were going
made
with
him
this.
look like a loser.
Yeah.
They made him
All right.
look like.
So wait. So
What's
here's
a word I can use without
here's
getting
no. Wait. Here's the question though. In the end,
a sissy? Is that
it
a word?
net? In the end, in your mind.
Can you say that?
In the end,
Is he
in
allowed to
your
say that?
mind, is it a net positive for him simply to have been on the show
Yes.
in the ring with Orton, even having it gone down the way it
At
did?
Mania, yes.
Is it a net positive? This is where I'm curious as to
Obviously,
where you come out.
positive. Any
Yeah.
person in
Okay.
WrestleMania is
Where
a
do you-
positive.
where do you come out?
I feel it wasn't a success. I don't think I was satisfied with how he was treated in the company in that match. But I would say it's a positive that he was on WrestleMania. I mean, that's something that he's going to tell his grandkids. Even though now he'll have even more gray hair.
You want to weigh in on this? Is this a net positive?
Yeah, I think so. Again, being on that stage at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
with with Randy
Look at Ray Fenix, right? Same thing. It's like
This is a
cool, he
tough
lost.
one for
and
me.
Penta and Dirty Dom and
Again,
all of them.
if
Very dumb over here.
I think
Forget about
margin,
it.
I think slightly is
It's-
a net positive. I
Uh-oh.
wish they hadn't done
He
the
is?
second RKO.
He is.
Dirty Dom?
Yeah, he is.
What about him?
Yes, he's Mexican.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You
All
guys
right.
were doing Italian. You guys were over there like, oh, Dirty Dom. Oh.
Very dumb over
This
there.
is now where the show starts to go downhill.
Oh. Also,
This is where it starts. This.
You had Logan Paul against
yeah.
AJ
Oh,
Styles.
I love Logan Paul. Oh my god.
This was kind of a nothing match.
I loved
I
it.
didn't
Didn't
even
Logan Paul also get banned
I
from
didn't
Egypt?
even
No,
get to
not
I didn't even
man.
get to see somebody in a
Yes,
prime bottle
It
costume
should
get
have clutched
killed.
that in the prime bottle.
Or
should've
Mr.
been big.
Beast.
Logan beat him. It was just
Also, I have a question. I get what Vince sees in him because it's Vince McMahon and the dementia warps his mind.
Vince is not around anymore, brother.
I understood that what Vince would have seen in him, but I don't understand what Paul Levesque sees
I mean,
in
he's
him.
a good athlete.
He's a good
He's an
athlete,
athlete.
and
That's like saying
and
he's
he's
got
very
Patrick
easy to hate.
No.
That's like saying just because he's an athlete doesn't mean he's good.
No,
he
'cause
should
Sam,
be in the ring. That's
two-
like saying that Patrick Mahomes should go wrestling.
I don't think he's so bad in the ring, though.
Yeah,
He-
I
Sam,
look, I
he's
can't
had two
look.
of
That
the
are
great.
not bad.
I can't stand the guy. He's not a terrible worker.
His
No,
promos are
of
bad.
2024.
He's not a
His
great.
character's bad. He's just
really.
Oh my God.
He's incredibly
Let me talk.
easy to hate.
he's
I'm
just
sorry,
an
go.
asshole.
I'm sorry,
That's
I'm
his
sorry.
gimmick.
Wait, say that again? Good.
Go.
No, repeat that.
No, go ahead.
No. Wait for a second. Sam, can you repeat that?
He's just an asshole. That's the gimmick.
We're
You're
gonna
right.
have to cut you. We're gonna have to delete you
Yay!
again.
11
okay?
censors.
You can't use that word.
He said it twice, actually.
Okay.
11 censors now, guys. Okay.
All right.
but I
He's
want
just.
to say that.
You just created more work for Roman.
I'm sorry,
Go.
Roman.
Dang, Sam. Wait,
Sorry.
what was I gonna say? Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Prime bottle.
Prime bottle. No prime bottle.
Oh, also.
Oh, I don't remember. He had two of the greatest spots of two of the greatest WWE spots of 2024. Him jumping off the thing onto the Roman.
Well, he had the
Him.
phone.
Yes, he had. Well, he
That
had
was
the phone.
2023.
When
Okay.
was it?
That was 2023.
I don't care. And him
Tons of
and Ricochet
illusion
to Royal
anyway.
Rumble.
Ricky O'Shea.
When
Also-
they both jumped
also-
off.
Oh right.
When
That.
they both jumped off the
No,
thing.
but-
I don't care, Roman.
But the
when
match-
they both
Oh,
jumped
yeah,
off
it
the
was.
thing.
The match was all right. Now.
Wait,
I
also,
did not.
Since
I
they
did.
have, wait, no. Since
ahead.
some AJ now they have that TNA deal, I thought we were gonna get the AJ's be like the We Are music. You know,
I-
for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
How
I
they
did.
do with TNA.
I did not. Now I did not see the women's tag match with the return of Becky. I believe you did though.
I said yeah, it's gonna be Becky because you know they got the Irish.
How,
They look like the Irish.
How was the match? I heard it was just okay.
It is what you think it is with those four women. Also, what the hell is with Lyra Valkyria dressed up like a bird?
That's her gimmick.
She was like a damn furry.
She looks like.
She's
you,
like,
you guys don't watch Always Sunny, do you?
No.
oh, with Danny DeVito, yeah.
You know,
Were they on the bar?
You've never seen that in
Wait,
your life.
didn't
I've been
they do a
around.
collab with Abigail
Yeah,
Wilson?
you've seen as many episodes of
One of
that
my
as Breaking
cousins
Bad.
that I
I've
haven't
There's
seen
a-
Breaking Bad.
One of my cousins that I haven't seen in 5 years, they were on that show.
Do you want me to explain?
Anyway, there's a great gimmick because at one point they do a wrestling episode where they're all wrestlers and they're the Pigeon Boys and they have these like crazy like arm things just like she did. And I
Wait,
sent
do you
that
want me to explain
picture.
the premise of Breaking Bad to you, Dad? 'Cause I
No,
see
you
it.
don't
Yes.
have to.
Okay, so Walter
Dude,
White.
this show's gonna
Okay.
be 2 hours long. We gotta
It
keep
is.
going. Now,
Uh-oh.
all right.
Uh-oh.
let's get to
Put this in 2 parts.
Oh,
Oh
I've
my
been,
God,
I've
it's
been
a main
waiting for
event,
this.
baby.
I'm gonna
Night
put
1
the.
and 2 of Grappling with the Gilmans WrestleMania extravaganza.
So
Night.
now, after 2 nights
Now this would need to be a 4-part
of
show.
all of this, we
Dynamite
get
Collision.
This hellhole.
to the main event
Oh my God. Ew.
of Cody Rhodes
Oh, I think.
versus John Cena.
I did like the Cody Rhodes
Now,
mask
all right.
because it like came off like Iron Man.
Do you-
know? Like,
Do you have anything you want to say about this? Because I've.
Oh man, I got so much to say.
I don't
All right,
honestly
let's
give a damn
let's go
anymore.
one at a time. I will go last.
No, you can go. No, I'm not saying anything.
I'm gonna say
You'll
something.
say
ahead.
what, you'll say what I probably
Go ahead.
will already say.
I saw an Instagram post and it was the guy saying that no, Dwayne, and should he have been on the show? Only 74% of people said he should have been.
What's the matter with those other 26%?
A lot of people in the comments said he didn't care. The whole thing was that he sold his soul to Dwayne and he wasn't there.
He was.
Jacques was the
He
real devil.
wasn't there.
Got it.
Jacques was
The
the true
whole
bad guy.
thing was he wanted Cody's soul. Cena turned, gave him his soul, and he wasn't even there. Neither was Hulk Hogan. Neither was
How did Hulk Hogan be there?
yeah. I made
Oh,
predictions.
Steve
last
Austin
week.
was there, but he nearly
Yeah,
ran over a woman
Austin
in his
was
in
there, but
Daytona.
he wasn't. He
I heard
wasn't
that was all
in there.
Nick Khan probably ran over there with a release.
The only
I
surprise.
heard that was all work.
The only surprise.
Think?
I heard she was flopping.
Oh, she took a dive.
Yeah.
The only surprise was the guy that sang Fiend. Half the people don't even know his name. They just know Fiend.
Jacques.
Do you want to go? Or you're gonna let me go?
It's like the biggest star in the world.
This is a disgrace to wrestling, that ending. Because Jesus Christ, you lied. Jacques, what's his last name? Does anybody know?
Jacques Bermond Webster.
Jacques Bermond.
Webster.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
That's
a
the man's
name.
name.
That's a stupid name. That's a stupid name.
that's a
I'll be
bad
honest.
Well,
with you.
that's why he changed it.
Jacques
Yeah. Oh,
Bermond.
that makes a lot of sense. Something more generic.
Right.
But I think the goal of this was to make you mad. Cause
Oh boy, did they do
and
it!
oh boy, did they make the wrestling community mad to end it with a goddamn interference by Jacques.
Oh, are you done?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Jacques is a disgrace to wrestling. I would rather
I
have,
wouldn't
you
even
know,
call him that. I would just
You're-
call
I
him.
would.
No, they
I'd
gotta
call
do
him up
co-
there with
they
You're
gotta
only.
Hulk Hogan.
They got
Jacques.
do Cody versus Jacques.
It's Hulk Hogan, Jacques, Enzo Amore,
Odyssey Jones,
Odyssey
Wait.
Jones,
All right.
Edward McMahon.
All right.
and then no, actually Vince McMahon. Hulk
Oh, Brock
Hogan are
Lesnar.
fine.
Brock
All
Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar. No, Brock Lesnar's like low on that list of disgraces on wrestling.
Under Jacques.
Under Jacques.
The man who's being brought up on charges is underneath.
Hey, he just knew.
I don't
He
like the
didn't-
guy
he
either, but
No,
my
but-
God.
That is not true.
They got.
He just.
they
Oh,
got-
he did a little something.
They gotta do Cody versus Jacques now, I guess.
I still. All right. I
Wait to
gotta
see
go.
that crap show.
I still have trouble believing that as the culmination of 2 nights of this, they put out this flaming pile of hot garbage of a main event. I have trouble thinking of the last thing I have seen in pro wrestling that I hated as much as this. Let's go over the reasons why. John
long list.
Cena, who was never a particularly great in-ring performer when he was young and in shape. This was an embarrassment. He looked terrible. Roman, help me here. How
agree.
is it possible after all of these years that he does not know how to put an STF on? Oh my God. I'm like, my head nearly exploded.
Now he crashing out. Damn.
This, it was,
He
but no,
tweeted,
it was not.
crashed
It
out
would have
on
been.
Grappling with the
It would have been one thing if it was just a bad wrestling match, which it was. Oh, but there's more. As they said, Travis Scott's music comes up. The one good part of the match, I'm actually going to say something nice about Michael Cole. His music comes up. Michael Cole says what I was thinking, and I quote, "Oh, damn it." So, but everyone is thinking, here comes Dwayne. No, here's the worst part. I still cannot believe this. I saw pictures of this on the internet. I hoped it wasn't true. Meltzer confirmed this. At the merch stands, they were selling merchandise that said, finally The Rock has come back to Las Vegas, and he wasn't there.
Wow, that is crazy. I didn't know.
Oh my God.
Damn.
So then
That's crazy.
then the jabroni Travis Scott, whose name is neither Travis nor Scott, takes like forever to get down to the ring. Their deal happens. Then, this is the culmination of this just flaming pile of garbage. They get the ref bump. Out comes Travis. He lays out Travis. Then he gets the belt. Cody does. This is his chance to finally get his revenge and keep his title. And what happens? He won't hit Cena with the belt. So he gets kicked low and hit himself. It is a rare thing in wrestling where everybody goes into a match and comes out looking worse. And that is what happened here. Cody Rhodes is a geek loser. Cena is a washed up old man who can't wrestle anymore. This was horrible.
That's crazy.
I hated this so much. I can't even. No, wait. No, I'm not done.
I have no affiliation with this man.
I'm not done.
He's tweaking out.
Because no, I'm not finished.
Shut this off.
Because now, get this. Wait a minute. I'm not done. I have one more thing. After that performance, if anybody ever wants to see John Cena work a match again, I am confounded by this, but you're not going to have to wait because the next pay-per-view,
Oh, yeah, baby.
they're going to main event a pay-per-view in 2025.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Not
with
2023.
John Cena versus Randy Orton.
Yeah,
They had what they
Randy.
called their final match in 2012
This is
such a hot take.
before this one was born.
He crashed
This
out.
is such an
Everybody,
Everybody.
You gotta stop this now.
everybody involved in
Cut the
this.
camera off.
Cody, John Cena, the jabroni Travis Scott, Levesque, everybody that
Dwayne?
touched this is the Geek of the Week. This was an
No, they're geek of the
embarrassment.
year.
Do you want to know where Dwayne really was?
Oh,
Where was
He was in goddamn Hawaii.
Dwayne
talking about
look.
goddamn
He was
the
in
air.
Hawaii.
And Dwayne apparently was on Pat with the scumbag Pat McAfee today, trying to explain how he wasn't there. I can't.
He probably forgot it was even happening. To be honest.
How could he think?
He's
How
too
could
busy
he
with
not
the
be there?
He was probably too busy with
This
the
whole thing
Moana 3.
started with him. Oh, a disaster.
Yeah,
A disaster. Now, from
Would
what
you call it the worst WrestleMania moment ever?
I can't imagine that there's
Well,
I don't know if
it's
it's the
not
worst,
the worst ever.
but this as a WrestleMania main
Seen some
event,
pretty
you'd have to
pretty
go
bad stuff.
you'd have to go back a long ways to find a WrestleMania main event worse than this. This was horrible. All right.
WrestleMania 26.
Last question. So let's do the wrap-up question. Okay.
I'm mortified
We're gonna start
after
with
that.
you.
What the hell was that?
Favorite
Dad?
match or moment of all three shows?
Joe.
Oh no! What, if you had to pick one,
Oh, I know.
what did you like the best?
You all know mine?
I'm gonna get to you.
Let me think. I want to go last.
Okay.
Go first.
Favorite match / moment of all three shows.
I mean, come on, Joe Hendry. Honestly.
Okay, it was.
I mean, it's Joe. People believe. I believe.
for you.
I'm not done. You go first.
All right.
Same thing,
Are we
man.
done? Oh, word.
There were three really great things that we saw in the past week. As much as I really liked the Punk, Rollins, and Reigns match, and as much as I really liked the women's triple threat match, both those were absolutely great. My favorite match of the week was Ospreay and Takeshita, but all three of those matches were absolutely excellent. So I'm gonna give my kudos to everybody who was involved. All those guys were great on those three women, incredible. What do you got?
This is exact. It's like something kind of involving it, kind of not involving it. So there was I saw an Instagram post, and it was a thing of the what's his name, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. They were there, and it was like action figures, and Paul Heyman looked so ridiculous in his action figure post. So yeah, that was my favorite part.
What can you make the pose?
It was
You're
like
talking about action figures?
it was so weird. I loved it though.
I just want to know what your favorite match or moment was.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment. And
That wasn't from.
Post on Instagram.
It was, it was also from the match. And then my favorite moment was Paul Heyman crying to Roman Reigns about how he's his tribal chief, and then like 2 minutes later, low blowing him.
The triple threat match.
No, specifically those two
the
moments.
end when Paul turned.
Where you
Hey,
start
that's a
crying.
fine choice. You want to weigh in real quick?
Yeah. My favorite moment was the Becky Lynch pop. That was the most
Becky's
I
return.
popped. I think not the match. I
Just
mean,
her return.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And my favorite match I think was the women's triple threat.
Yeah, that was great. All right. I feel like we have really gone a deep dive into everything we've seen this week.
I'm
I feel
mortified.
Like Roman's got his work cut out for him because I feel like we've gone long, much like these WWF shows.
20 minutes.
Thank you, Roman. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will see you next week with another episode
Wait,
of
before this ends, I am not affiliated with anything that man said about Cody Rhodes.
Fine.
Cody Crybabies.